So big streamers are starting to call out Kick for its shenanigans and tomfoolery and for the fake platform that it really is, and I can honestly say that I'm all for it. Kick is nothing but a cesspool of degeneracy, and to be quite honest with you, I'm surprised that it's still here to this day, but I'm glad that people like Jynxzi and Moist Critical are on their platform talking about why Kick is bad and why people should not look at Kick as a legitimate platform to put their content on.
At first, I thought Kick was interesting because, you know, obviously they signed like Aiden, XQC, Bruce, Rage, like all in the span of a couple months. So I'm like, bro, like maybe it'll like go down that route. But then it just went down like IRL streaming route of like just the worst thing you could imagine.
And if we play a quick word association game, when you think of the word Kick, first thing you're going to go to is Aiden. The next thing you're going to go to is people putting forks in toasters. The thing after that would be the key 3DOs that are on the platform. The next thing that you're going to do is go to the people peeing in buckets on the platform. The next thing you're going to do is go to all the people that are making content that is very, very inappropriate that nobody wants to associate with. I mean, for the love of God, they had Just X Snags on the platform trying to get underage girls to take their clothes off and do all sorts of sexual activities.
Which tunnels? I want you to take the tunnel entry. You know, take the tunnel entry. Little Tay, come to SB Island. What's Epstein Island? Come to SB Island, Little Tay.
And when you have somebody like this, and not just somebody, but a lot of people like this, of course, Kick is gonna have a terrible brand identity, which ultimately makes it a joke of a platform that nobody's ever gonna take seriously.
I feel like it's pretty obvious, but any crime, illegal activity, let's not do that. I think Kick's best play would be to fix that shit and like create their own kind of culture. Because right now they have a culture, but it's just like we kind of said.
It's like the worst one you can have.
And to me, what Moist and Jynxzi are alluding to is this culture of topping itself. And somebody would say that that goes hand in hand with content creation. But if we think about the things that Kick promotes or allows on their platform, and we think about content creation topping itself, where that meets is a bad place. Again, you might have somebody who makes an inappropriate joke or uses a slur on your platform. And because we're supposed to be a platform that's more free speech, we kind of let that slide. But then when you compound that, you get non-content creators seeing a platform in which they can just do shock value things, literally putting themselves in harm's way, literally putting other people in harm's way. And then the final culmination is making sexual or suggestive types of content to little underage kids. And the real reason why letting all those things fly on Kick is bad is because you can't access ad revenue. And if you can't access ad revenue and you're relying people to pay for memberships for, quite frankly, something that they can get for free, then there's no reason to subscribe. And if no ads want to come, then nobody's going to want to pay your streamers, your content creators, or anything like that. So at that point, that is a recipe for disaster for the platform.
I think Kick just kind of needs to find a culture to keep it different from Twitch, because another thing they brought up, and like it was their main selling point, was like, oh, we have a 95.5 sub split. Stream on Kick. I'm the CEO of Nike. The last company I'm giving ads to is Kick. Once they clean that up, they'll become like, because they have users, there's not a problem there. And then you can get advertisers. Then you're going to be more inclined to land bigger streamers who they want ad revenue, right?
Yeah.
And although Jynxzi has total bias because he is one of Twitch's biggest streamers to this date in America, I think a lot of what he says is absolutely true. Nobody serious is going to look at Twitch as they are serious. But of course, people had to give some sort of pushback, specifically people from that free speech mentality or that walk of the internet.
The platform is what, not even, it was like barely a year old. The fighting stopped and it was like 3 or 4 creators. How are we gonna make a conclusion about the entire platform of 3 or 4 creators out of like thousands on thousands?
If it's the degeneracy, then stop farming a fake relationship with the known OnlyFans girl. Don't push your 12-year-old audience to OnlyFans by making them think that you're in a relationship. Twitch culture is worse than Kick culture. They make every girl sit in a hot tub and they want you to be a simp.
Now, I don't always agree with Sneako, and obviously he's trying to push his agenda towards the end of this, but he is right in some regard. Jynxzi, you can't have these sentiments about degeneracy on the platform while simultaneously you, a video game streamer, are taking another video game streamer like Sketch and putting him on some E-date with a bunch of OnlyFans models. We know both of your audiences are younger, and not to mention that that's like a total 360, 180, 720 from your brand. You're the one topping the degeneracy, just like on Kick the platform. Now, where I don't agree with Sneako is, well, I'm not gonna act like that's the same type of degeneracy that's on Kick that people are complaining about, but I do see what he's saying when he says that there is levels of degeneracy on Twitch that you can't normally ignore. And that goes without talking about how earlier in Twitch's inception, Twitch kind of looked like Kick.
You guys
saw what Twitch was 7 years ago, you would be like, what the fuck? Every new platform in the beginning is not going to be 100% amazing, bro. Obviously, Eddie keeps those motherfuckers around because right now they are technically good publicity is good. All publicity is good publicity, bro. So right now, Kick, I agree. Eddie, we don't need to have certain streamers doing certain things, but hey, that's the way it is right now, and I can't do anything about it. But what I can tell you is Kick is working. What about all the other creators, the small creators that are actually putting in work and hours and getting paid 90-some% of their revenue? It's working for them. And the community here is amazing because there's a lot of people that just want to show love and stuff. And then there's also the people that chase the hype and stuff. But, you know, at the end of the day, bro, I worked really, really hard to get Kick working and shit. Without my community, without me, there's no Kick.
What Aiden is saying is true wholeheartedly. We can't forget that Twitch just had an issue, I mean, a couple months ago where they were essentially letting people do topless breast bounces on stream and there was no problem with it. So I think that Aiden is definitely right in that regards. But the thing that I would push back on him and say is that the problem with Kick is that its foundational thing is that we're going to go no TOS. We are sick of the restrictiveness that Twitch has. Now, Twitch started off in a more lawless, Wild West place, but they also didn't start with that foundation. It was a guy with a camera recording his life live. There wasn't this emphasis on you can get off whatever you want to get off because there's another platform suppressing you. Aiden acts like there's not that big instrumental difference in the beginnings of Twitch and the beginnings of Kick. And Twitch does this thing where they continuously try to learn and try to grow. It might not be at the pace that people want it to because hot tub streamers and other women get away with some more looser TOS restrictions. However, Kick, if it did put in TOS, would be hypocritical. If they ever put in something that said, we're going to be really strict on TOS, we're not going to let this go, this go, this go, it would be hypocritical of the foundation of what Kick was founded on. And I think that that's where they can't go because at that point, you might as well be on Twitch. And I think also Aiden fails to realize that the biggest streamers on Twitch have always overshadowed some of the small stuff. Always might be like a big stretch, but for the most part, Twitch's big audience has always been consumed by the bigger streamers who have been playing big video games, who have been just chatting in a big way, things of that nature. Kick's biggest streamers participate in the degeneracy. And so that's why people like Pokimane feel like, hey, if I come over to Kick, then I'm going to have to be losing my moral compass.
It's not because I got like $10 million. It's just because I'm good as I am. Why would I compromise my morals and ethics for more money when I have money? Something about that is so cringe to me personally.
That's interesting because Pokimane just came off of a like Twitch exclusive contract and now is going to be multi-streaming on YouTube as well. She did not decide to go to Kick. And I think the reason why she relates that to her morals and ethics is because that is the culture and brand identity of a Kick. Is that if you are over there, you are doing something that is degenerate. That's the only way to become one of the bigger, more notable faces over there. I don't know of too many legitimate faces that are on Kick that are doing things that aren't degenerate. And not saying that they don't exist, it's just the simple fact that that's the overwhelming majority of what's going on over there. Right now, if you can go get a bag from Kick, go get a bag from Kick. It's like chasing the white whale. Sometimes you got to do it, but you got to make sure that you do not go down with the ship. At this rate, I don't see Kick lasting much longer if they're allowing the type of things that they allow. But, you know, let me know what you think if I'm wrong. I think that Kick is not in the best place.